You're listening to Confessions of a Counselor podcast. Here we will talk all things mental wellness. Hi everyone, Janice here, and welcome back to Confessions of a Counselor. Today I thought we would talk about busyness. So this has somehow become a badge of honor. We talk about our busyness as though it is something that's so important, or that somehow makes our lives better, or that will be seen in a more respected light if we're busy, particularly in the workplace. So it's become something that we strive to be, or that we talk about on a regular basis. What we don't consider when we idolize or reward busyness is that what we're really doing is promoting burnout. We are promoting this place of burning out, of not taking care of ourselves, and that somehow constantly doing and producing and giving of ourselves is somehow better than finding a balance between doing those things and also being present and resting and refueling and recharging rather than just constantly going. I think that we really saw this during the pandemic, right? When it was uncomfortable to be in lockdown. It was uncomfortable to not be doing, to stay in our homes. And there was this expectation in some workplaces that we continued to be productive in the same way than when we were in a pre-pandemic world. And so analyzing and looking at what are we promoting, what are we celebrating when we talk about the busyness of our lives and what's important. Growing up, I used to ask my dad, when he got home from work, I'd say, "How's your day, Dad?" And his answer was always, "Busy." And that was it. That was the end of the conversation. "How's your day, Dad?" "Oh, it was busy." I never got context as to what that meant, or how he was feeling, or what it is that he felt joyful or proud of that day, but rather this blanket statement of busy. And so this is something that I started to take on. I thought that work needed to be busy. I thought that I needed to be busy. And not that he did anything wrong. That was just him explaining how his day was as an IT guy. And to this day, that's his answer. "Oh, it was busy," if I ask him how his day at work was. And that's fine. But what we want to start to break down is, what does this mean, right? When I'm constantly busy and when there is no time for rest and relaxation, or I'm describing my life or the way that I'm being as busy, what message am I portraying to myself, to my body, and to those around me? And can I find a more balanced or more being way to show that actually today I was feeling really overwhelmed because I was constantly being pulled from task to task versus busy. Or today actually I spent time resting and relaxing because I know that in the next coming days, weeks, months, hours, I'm going to be pulled in many directions. So today I rested, right? And even that justification isn't necessarily needed, but when we're working off of coming out of this busyness, sometimes we need to justify the rest and relaxation to help us transition in. So recognizing how am I describing my life and what is the impact that that's having, and what belief do I have about my life when I describe it in certain ways. So my curiosity and what I'll leave you with to think about is, how could I describe my life differently if I didn't only describe it as busy? I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Confessions of a Counselor podcast is available anywhere you like to listen to your podcast, both on Apple and Android. New episodes will be released every Friday. If you enjoyed this podcast, please feel free to join the conversation. Leave a review or subscribe to the podcast hosted on the Anchor app. All these details can be found at janicelyons.com. Until next time, take care.